Guys, we're already back in. Sorry about that little break. We just had to make sure that we figured out some things behind the scenes, and it's all fixed. So we're into this game one of the group stage. Like we said before, University of Texas Arlington, University of North Carolina Charlotte. Let us know in the chat who you are rooting for.
And already you can see the trades dishing out. As a matter of fact, Foxlike and Ben Rhodes doing a little bit of that struggle, as it was. Braum a little bit stronger in that level 1, level 2 matchup, but because they were able to get there faster, that's really is what gave them that advantage. You can see just that dishing out as well on the top side. Panda will just try and neutralize that Aurelia as much as possible, as both Pumpkin and Divided, they're actually pretty even on finishing out their first initial clears. Pumpkin's a little bit behind, but Turtle's just taking that damage that Syndra's so good at.
Well, look at this top lane. Panda is having a very difficult time into Neo, who's actually going really aggressive, has a corrupting pot, gets the dash out of Panda. No flash just yet, but already getting a sizable lead in the top lane.
Well, and you saw Panda went for the Grasp of the Undying. Turtle just taking a lot of damage, but back to Panda is the fact that he went Inspiration Tree secondary, so he most likely has the biscuits. So lucky for him, he can take these trades and lose early, because, you know, wait till 4 minutes, just take a bite out of one of those biscuits, and you're already back to half health extremely quickly. So he can stay in lane, not to mention you got the Ornn passive, so you can just buy yourself a Ruby Crystal and not have to recall.
Neo already going for an early recall himself. I would have really liked to have seen the Sheen pickup when you're going to go for a back this early on. Chuck D gets the flash out of Turtle. Imagine had that been an Ignite instead of the Cleanse. This would have been First Blood already.
Yeah, it would have most likely forced both summoners out of Chuck T, because you'd have to get that flash for the extra range to initialize that Ignite, but still, the fact that he forced that flash without really using anything of his own outside of just his general kit. Sure, he's struggling a little bit on his mana, but he has the Corrupting Potion to help just sort of chug that back up to a suitable position. Pumpkin had to reply and just hold that lane as well. So already Pumpkin is in that position where he is pressured to start being lane present. He has to start pushing some kind of aggression back onto Chuck T, and now you can see the bottom lane starting to go into favor of Foxlike and Ben.
Goes in for the headbutt pulverized, no mana for Notorious, is able to get the Braum passive on to Ben, but a lot of damage just back and forth. Nicked, taken down very low.
Yeah, we are looking at a Mountain Drake first as well, so something that not going to be a top priority for these bottom lanes to sort of get that vision control underneath. They're most likely going to just, again, try and get lane control, push for that first turret as you do, and then switch up to the potential Australia lanes to where you can just keep scaling this Aurelia to be that monster that she is. She's already level up, but Panda is definitely thrown back.
But look at Pumpkin. Pumpkin snuck up into the top lane, trying to see if they can get Neo Restoration to come out just a little bit, but even with a nice flank coming in from Pumpkin, Neo playing very safe in the top lane.
I'm still curious on how Turtle is able to possibly equalize this mid lane. He did go Arcane Comment. He didn't go the Aftershock Lissandra that we've been seeing at Worlds for sort of that initial tank engagement, similar to a Galio as it would be, but at this moment in time, we can see Pumpkin recalled from that top side and is now looking for the bottom end. Vision control is blind at the moment for UT Arlington, so they don't know that he's here.
And that's despite the fact that Divided was able to get some great vision coverage into the jungle. They have no clue at all. Headbutt away, trying to get Pumpkin out of there, but the Braum passive's already stacking up. Got the flash, but he got locked up for just a little bit. Foxlike trying to see if they can escape. That's a lot of damage back on the Pumpkin. The Ignite is ticking, and that's going to be the Feather Call to be able to get the kill. And the Braum passive once again on to Ben Rhodes. He's going to go for the headbutt just to get out of there, but they already lost the first blood.
You saw at the very beginning of this gank as well that you had Ben Rhodes sort of dancing back and forth near that sort of like that peninsula at the top side of the bottom lane, and he was like, maybe I should ward the river, Talia might be down here, and then right when he thought of that, there's Talia coming in for the gank, and they had to force the retreat. Luckily as well for Notorious, he was able to get that final auto attack to sort of proc the concussive blows as well, get that stun, makes it to where the flash didn't really do much. And now Turtle's getting flashed on.
Has to use the Glacial Prison just to keep him alive, but man, that Frozen Tomb barely gonna be able to help this Lissandra with the flash blown from Chuck T. It is a big ultimate down for both sides. but really well done on Chuck T to continue to win this lane.
Yeah, so already some good news here for the side of UNCC. They have an advantage in the bottom lane. You've got the first blood onto Notorious Zaya, so not really doing too well in a sense of gold discrepancy. He's only 200 gold up, so he's still struggling in that CS department just a little bit. He will be able to catch up here once he gets more lane priority. But now these solo lanes of UT Arlington are starting to be a little bit more tough to handle. You do have Neo's Aurelia still being a little bit neutralized by Panda's Ornn, as you do, as the Goat God does, but you just have to be worried for Turtle here.
Divided, spot out Turtle, but this is Pumpkin with that damage, trying to use the Crescent Sweep to do a little bit of damage back, but they're going to actually be able to turn the kill back on to Turtle. Divided picks it up. Ignite has been burned. Blast Cone over the wall for Pumpkin. Botched Engage coming in from the side of North Carolina.
Didn't really need to be there. He just sort of had to get the vision, dip in and dip out. Stayed a little bit too long to find a pick of his own to sort of get his advantage in the laning phase. But Panda and Neo doing a little bit of a noodle trade here, but that noodle's hurt.
Those noodles do hurt, especially early on. You can easily utilize the knockups coming in from Panda to get some damage back onto Neo, since he's only got that Doran's blade on it to Aurelia. She's not going to be as impactful in these 1v1 duels, at least not until you get the Sheen.
Well, and he's been able to buy all of his stuff and really not have to recall anyways, so he has that Catalyst and Cloth Armor, as you mentioned. And you have Neo, who's sitting on 1,800 gold, so she could go back, buy a Phage, get a boot, and that's what she does. She went and actually got the Tiamat instead, and then the Mana Crystal, so she can sort of get ready for the Triforce with the Sheen. It's a sort of a decision that you can make. You either go Phage or Tiamat first, just in the sense of how confident you are in your laning phase. And he does want to push a little bit against Panda, who does have some decent wave clear in these early stages. Very
true. That's how it is with Ornn. Ornn's very good at wave clear, though a 20 CS differential between the two top laners. Neo is going to be eventually just scaling up well ahead of Panda, where you're going to only utilize that Ornn for the call of the Forge God. If you fall behind here, especially if a solo kill were to end up coming in from Neo, that would really spell doom for North Carolina.
Oh, there's the lockdown.
They try to go for the engage. Great Featherstorm flash from the Notorious. They might be able to turn around with Pumpkin here. It's going to be a trade so far. Ignite onto Fox. Want to get the kill to Pumpkin. Maybe even get the seismic shove onto Rhodes. If you can get him back right over the pebble to do just a little bit more damage, but I don't think they can die fully. They're trying a little bit, and they're able to get one more pebble into the face of the cow.
Very well done there from the bottom lane of UNCC to spend enough time, but Turtle again having to use it defensively to make sure Chuck T doesn't get a favorable advantage into this mid lane. He's still struggling there, just hitting over the 20 CS discrepancy mark, which is really that red flag to where those lanes are becoming a little bit too hard to handle, because at 20 CS, it's just as valuable as getting a kill, and Chuck T is looking for another one.
Here comes the wall from Pumpkin to try to cut Chuck T by the turret, but Chuck T already saw it coming and ran away from the battle wisely, but got so much damage onto Turtle and to this tier 1 turret that it's really forcing Nick and Pumpkin to now have to play around the mid lane.
So we are talking about in the pick and ban phase that the way that UNT Arlington is to win this is to start snowballing, and snowballing fast. And for UNCC is to just sort of neutralize the lanes and scale a little bit more efficiently and sort of create that security. They've been able to do that in the top lane. Mid lane, it's been a little bit more rough, but luckily for them, bottom lane is still sort of in their advantage in the sense of keeping it just that 1,000 gold differential in the side of UNT Arlington's favor, just because of those solo lanes.
But look at the CS differences between every single lane here for Arlington. Every lane, including the one where they're able to get the first blood, has been falling behind to that of Arlington, who just picked up a Mountain Drake completely for free.
Not good for them. Divided might get caught here. There's the shove.
Shove to pull him back. Crescent Sweep to do a little bit of work to keep away some of the damage, but Turtle caught out again. Frozen Tomb not off of cooldown, and finally the solo kill that we were expecting from Chuck T.
Yeah, finally getting it when he doesn't have ult, doesn't have flash, and he doesn't have a Talia to be there with him, so now in this bottom lane. It's nice that UNT Arlington was able to get that Mountain Drake. They were able to sort of reclaim their vision control in the river and secure a first turret as well. This is the snowballing we're talking about. This is where it's starting to become way too much to handle. It was the CS differential at first, then it was the lane oppression from Chuck T's Syndra, and now it is starting to have the capability to roam around the map. Divided has the possibilities to now start oppressing Panda in this top side if he so chooses.
Neo going pretty hard on the Panda in the top lane as well, trying to make sure that there's no way that if there were to be a teleport flame coming in from Panda that he could actually leave this lane. That's wisely done from Neo, because right now you're talking about having to try to help out these other lanes, trying to make sure that you can get down to Turtle, get down to Notorious, to make sure that you at least stop some of the bleeding that's happening, and that would really be from a teleport from Panda.
It would be, but the problem is that if he leaves Neo alone in this top side, it's gonna be like, okay, Ornn's gone, there's no more lane stability, I'm gonna go ahead and get first turret if I want. So or first turret in top, that is, as he already had Chuck T get that for himself. But it's still that fact that he can't leave on his own to help someone else. But Fox, like, you have Turtle now.
They're trying to see if they can get onto him. They already had the change the corruption landing, and now Ben all by himself, right by his turret, trying to get back to it. But it could be the collapse coming in. Here's the teleport in from Neo. As Divided has already gone in with the Crescent Switch, has to flash away. Here's the Vanguard's Edge, doing so much work into the backline onto Nick, on and to everybody. That was North Carolina. They're all falling. Even Panda's a little bit too late to the party because Neo was able to clean everybody up.
Oh, Panda was so late. He was just at least a second and a half on that teleport behind. He's there just to sort of possibly hold with Pumpkin to make sure this turret doesn't go down, but that double kill from Neo is just going to be so hard to deal with here in the next couple of minutes, throwing himself up to a 5,000 gold, 1,500 differential between him and Panda's Ornn in that top side. He has enough to go ahead and finalize his Trinity Force if he so chooses. He's sitting on 2,700 at the moment, so for that, we'll go ahead, get the Phage, get the Sheen, and we'll go ahead and just hold on for now. Just needs to get that Stinger, but that fight in the bottom lane, putting the snowballing into the hands of UNT Arlington.
I'm already seeing a lane swap coming in from Charlotte. From Arlington. They've already sent Foxlight and Ben Rhodes to the top lane to try to see if they can secure this tier 1 turret.
Yeah, and it was because Foxlight and Ben died a little bit early in that fight in the bottom lane. Foxlight spawned up. He's like, okay, they're still going to try and put their resources into holding this bottom lane just due to that defense. But Turtle getting caught out again, forced to use the claw, and now Chuck T going to get pinched here as well.
Trying to see if he can go for the 1v3 flash away. Nick still on the hunt, does not get the Winter's Bite to connect onto Syndra, and with this chase continuing, the rest of Arlington make the call to go for the Rift Herald. They'll sacrifice this tier 1 in the bot lane. That way they can have something that can easily open up the tier 2s of Charlotte.
Not a favorable trade there for UNC though, due to the fact that you lost the turret in top side and you lost the Rift Herald as well, giving that over to Divided Xin Zhao so he can go ahead and have that empowered recall when he needs it. But initially,
caught out, has to slow the cleanse, but Notorious was already able to get the kill. Flash forward for the Blade Caller as well to make sure that they can finalize that.
Yeah, it's nice. I guess that pick is nice, you know, like you're struggling in all your solo lanes, almost all the turrets are down, your final sort of outer turn in this bottom lane is extremely close to dying, but you're able to find those picks just due to Chuck T's confidence. Sure, he's sitting on a Luden's Echo and Sork Shoes compared to just the Mercury Treads and an unfinished item there on Turtle. I don't know exactly what he's going for. He might be going for maybe like Rylays, but that's just an odd decision. But Panda now has Pumpkin to help out with Neo.
Seismic Sub does not connect onto Neo. Here comes the call of the Forge God. Wants to get it, but flashed away from the second part. That would have knocked him up. Almost surprised he didn't see the re-engage coming in from Neo with the Vanguard's Edge.
Yeah, sort of surprised on that one as well for me, but just sort of trying to keep and neutralize any pushing that Neo can do. You now have this aggressive bot lane of Notorious and Nick sort of in that position where they're like, look, we are the players to put this game back into our team's hands. We need to find advantages. And going up against Foxlike and Ben, it's going to be very difficult because now you have Chuck T and Divided sitting around this bottom side looking to crack open this bottom lane.
And that was something I was going to ask you, Coco. Could you look over to the Notorious? Has 3 kills, already has that Storm Raiders as well. So right now, for Charlotte, this could be their win condition, is protect the Xayah kind of composition where you can rely on this crit marksman to be able to carry you into the late game.
Yeah, because right now, Magical, I'm getting some Uzi flashbacks right now. G2 versus RNG. It's like, all right, all in the bottom lane. Like, we gotta carry this. But we have 2 powerhouse solo laners of Syndra and Aurelia that I have to deal with, and they can get to me in any way they see fit. They also have an Infernal Drake on their belt as well, so not looking too good in a sense of relaxed carrying for the side of Notorious, but it's still possible because this looks like a fight.
All 5 members here divide and take it pretty low pretty quickly. Here comes the Featherstorm as he tries to see if he can turn around the kill on the Notorious, but he uses the heal to keep himself alive, and Chuck T says, no, you're gonna die as well. Notorious doing what he can, he's already gone, and now it's Chuck T with the team. They knock back Panda and finish him off for Foxlike to pick up his first kill of the game.
So, as it was foretold, the dive composition of Divided and Neo were able to get to Notorious way too fast for him to really start making a comeback for his team in that team fight. But for him, he was still able to find at least 1 kill onto Divided. Sure, that's nice, but a 4-for-1 trade and losing Dragon not going to be looking good as that gold discrepancy, 32,228. You're sitting at a pretty awkward gold deficiency, and you look at where it is, and the majority of it is thrown into this top lane. Aurelia, 3,000 gold value over that of Panda's Orange. So if she touches you, you die. You die fast.
Has the Trinity Force completed as well with that Tiamat. Diving onto the backline is going to be so easy. Notorious, they have to keep healing for Notorious. They cannot allow Divided to be able to get onto that backline. Notorious has to be kept alive.
And this is where I think that Aftershock Cassandra could have been a little bit more efficient due to the fact that she is able to survive just that little bit longer. Just a little bit more harder to kill, to where Chuck T has to use maybe 1 extra Q to take her down. But it could be that time that saves Notorious to pick up another kill, possibly find Chuck T on those back lines, because he's able to do that with the Xayah Feathers. But now the jungle of UNCC is entirely Arlington's, as they're going to go ahead and clear out, get some vision under their belts, move that trench line so they can really start choking down these lanes and pushing them into a turtle formation in their own base.
Exactly, and this is going to be so difficult for Pumpkin to try to be able to clear out her own jungle, because there's no way you could even enter it with how much vision has been locked down by Arlington. They already know Pumpkin's here, but somehow Divided still goes up. Suppression Sweep, they actually might be able to turn this back onto Pumpkin. Have so much burst potential out of Chuck T. With 4 members of Charlotte there, they still get the kill.
Yeah, I think one of those balls from Syndra literally did a third of Pumpkin's health, so 1, 2, 3, and she was out of that skirmish very quickly. That pick was turned around in favor for Arlington. Luckily for them, though, for the side of UNCC, the vision control is mostly in this bottom lane, giving Foxlike a lot of room to just go ahead, farm up, go and get, it looks like he's going to be going for the Nash's Tooth, as a matter of fact. He does have that stinger under him. So grab that, keep going, and then once it hits that point where they're comfortable to really look for the Baron, they do have that first Mountain Drake, so they'll be able to shred it a little bit faster. They'll go ahead and translate that vision control to the top side of the map and look for it, but all in a matter of time for them. They want to play it safe.
Well, Coco, we were talking earlier how this game is about delaying for as long as possible if you're on the side of Arlington, but it almost feels like they can't really do that. Notorious might have that rapid fire cannon, but looking over towards Arlington, look how much they have. Zerik's Gauge picked up by Divided just to make sure to give that little bit extra tankiness. You already have the Luden's Echo, already have the Oblivion Orb as well for Chuck T to do even more burst potential. For the team, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a way for Charlotte to be able to fight.
Yeah, no, and ooh, the nice stun there by Neo. Is he going to get the kill?
Gets the Frozen Tomb. He's probably just going to try to reset that aggro and might be able to go for the dive, but backs off, giving respect to Pumpkin, not knowing where Panda is, and the rest of Arlington continuing the siege in mid.
Yeah, nice 4-1 split here from Arlington. Again, just trying to play it as sort of patient, but you know, Neo's not patient. He wants that blood. He gets it. And looking to be that Matrix prodigy as he is, looking for that sequel here onto Panda, but not going to get it, but a fight in mid.
Got the shove onto Chuck T, but does not help when you don't have that much damage, especially not compared to a Syndra, as Neo fights with Panda and says, haha, you thought you were a tank. I can shred right through you with the fervor passive, and now my team's pushing up mid.
Yeah, no, oh no, nice ult there coming in from Notorious though, but it's not going to be enough to save the inhibitor.
It's going to be enough to save him as well. He's taking a little bit of poke from the side of Chuck T, dishing a little bit back out as well, but his team is not there. Everyone is gone, and Arlington find an inhibitor.
All right, now you've got that mid inhibitor gone. It is down for the next 5 minutes. Dragon is up in about a minute as well. You have Baron on the board. It's another Infernal Drake as well. So this puts UNC in an interesting position to where they're like, okay, we have Infernal Drake in a minute. We don't want to give that second one over to Arlington, but Arlington's probably going to play that as a bait. It's like, all right, go ahead, take the Dragon. We'll go ahead and get Baron so we can close this game out as fast as possible and move on to our next match. So they're in this awkward pinch where they have to be able to keep control, just enough control, that is, onto this Baron to where they can at least possibly have a smite contest or zone them out with Pumpkin's ultimate and use the Weaver's Wall for that, and be able to spend some time and possibly pick up the Dragon on the back end. But when you're spreading your resources out that much, it's just a recipe for disaster.
Team Charlotte, we're listening to you. They want to keep pressure around the Baron. They don't want to get baited into this Dragon. They just want to put vision down. They are very far behind. They're down 10,000 gold 23 minutes into this game. We already mentioned the items, but just look mid lane. Turtle finally completing the first item, that being Luden's Echo. But that's a whole item and a half behind. And they have to flash forward to try to get onto Chuck T. The Frozen Tomb is up. They try to lock it down. They might be able to get that pick, but it could have been returned onto Turtle, barely not being able to get the kill.
Turtle, even though he's struggling in that mid lane, he's able to find the revenge pick onto Chuck T. He knew that they needed to get it done. They do have the vision, but they had to forfeit the Dragon to find that pick. Sure, nice little kill shutdown as well, but it also allows them to get a little bit of vision control and help deny some against Arlington. So, sure, you got a 0-5 Syndra who is pretty much 5,000 gold down, but, you know, anything is really a win for them as long as it sort of equalizes out. But it is second Infernal Drake, so it's a debatable one.
When this is so difficult, when you're this far behind, you gave up the Infernal Drake, you got the pick, it looks great because you took out Chuck T, but you couldn't get any objective off of that because there's so much control from Arlington. They already had the vision control around the entire map. They already were looking for the split push in top lane from Neo, where you see that minion wave starting to get very close to that tier 2. And there was no real answer that could even come in from Charlotte because that's how far behind they are.
Yeah, luckily for them, the Infernal Drake, though, does increase that teamfight volatility from Arlington. It doesn't really help their pushing as much. Chuck T and Foxlike are sort of their strongest sort of wave pushers, but their teamfight is just so phenomenal that you want to try and make sure that you can get some wave control, make sure that there's always sort of a man down so you can find those pick possibilities as you did with Chuck T. Sure, it's not the easiest thing to do, but if they're able to spend some time to where Notorious is able to get his Infinity Edge and Turtle is able to sort of catch up in his own way, he does have the stopwatch as well, so that might be able to help him out in the next team fight. Could be a potential one where they can pull it out for a win.
Almost wish we had seen the stopwatch come in a little earlier from Turtle, because that is that engage. When you don't have the aftershock, you don't have that little bit of tankiness, you want something that can keep you surviving just a little bit longer, and now having it could actually be a great turnaround for the side of Charlotte, unless of course Neo gets this pick onto Panda. Look how much damage he's doing. He's shredding him with the Ionian Fervor. Does not throw down the Vanguard's edge to look for the solo kill so that his team can get onto this Baron, because his team's already there.
Yeah, they're going to be looking for it, and Neo is making them forced to use a decision. You see that looks like Notorious is going to decide to recall. It's up to Pumpkin and Turtle to possibly look for a pick.
But Ben Rhodes playing Guardian of the Baron. They forced him away from the pit. Chuck T chunking Pumpkin with just one scatter of the week. As Neo has shown up. Could look for the flank. Here comes the Vanguard's edge, but it was a little bit short, not able to connect.
Lucky for them, that is an Aurelia ultimate down, but Baron and a double Infernal here. Too much damage to handle in its own right. They're going to be pushing this top side of the map. They're looking to close it out and make it as possible. Play it safe again, as it does with the 4-1 split push. Don't really try and overextend, but Ben Rhodes wants to make sure that he is known.
Uses the ultimate just to get a little bit more resistance. Doesn't want to get locked up by Nyx, who showed up. They're trying to see if they can just force everyone from Charlotte into the top lane, because look at bot lane. Neo Restoration is about to take down the second inhibitor turret for the team and open up the base even more of Charlotte.
Yeah, he's already destroying this inhibitor in the bottom lane. It is going to be respawning soon for mid, though, so they will have a little bit of relaxation, but here's the fight.
Glacial Fissure along with Oranhorn only connecting on the Chuck T. They had the Unchained into the back line, but they found out Pumpkin, already taking him down. Turtle wasn't able to get the assassination in the back line. Forced to use the stopwatch, gonna drop down so quickly. Arlington making this look too easy, even though the inhibitors have respawned. It's not really gonna help you out when you get flashed on by Rhodes. They do get the turnaround onto Alistar, but a great double stun coming in from Neo. Will force them away. With the stuns coming in, gotta be careful, because could be taken down by Notorious. Here comes the Vanguard's Edge to be able to turn it around, gets the flash one, but it doesn't help you escape from Divided. As Arlington now, they're surely gonna be able to win this game.
And a beautiful long-distance scatter the weak from Chuck T to get that stun to where Notorious had no way of getting out. He had already used... And with that, they're on the Nexus.
On the Nexus, University of Texas, Arlington are going to be able to take this game in the group stage over North Carolina, Charlotte. Congratulations to them. It was well fought, but once they turned on that switch, they pulled